Well, Ava, Lily, and I are on our way home. I got alcohol all over my cast, and it's now seeping into the cotton. And just below the cotton, that's where there's metal sticking out of my hand. So I'm sure by the time I get home, it's going to be a little uncomfortable. Anyway, leaving the barn right now. Great day at the barn. Great day, great week, really, aside from a couple of, I tell you guys all the time, it's a great saying. I heard it, first person I ever heard say it was Ron Waples. Happiness is only one win away. Yes, one loss from a horse that's supposed to be better than he is can really take the wind out of your sails too. And we had a great week, and then Jason, the vet, and the horse, Oso Pine, are struggling. Jason's not struggling, he had a great week, but Oso Pine has really been struggling. I thought last week, I made an argument he was off 19 days and we need to get him back on a schedule and need to get him right. And then lo and behold, he went out yesterday. He just didn't look good. He looked uncomfortable off the rail. This is a horse that was the Oso Pine of July last year would have beat the shit out of the Oso Pine. Sorry, honey. Would have beat the horse that raced yesterday, and really struggling. He is. And what makes it worse is our other two colts aren't. Yes was 1/5, I believe, if I'm right, 1/5 off the world record for a 3-year-old gelding on a half-mile track, and obviously 1/5 off the track record also. Northfield Park is an extremely fast track, obviously. Nevertheless, the horses were good, and I had made a video and explained why I wanted them in the Gin Blossom, and I hope everybody is grasping it now. The confidence of those colts explodes when they get wins like they did last night, like Buckingham did the middle of the week. But we are having some difficulty, to put it lightly, with Oso Pine. If Oso Pine was just a nice trotter, if Oso Pine was just a nice trotter, then I'd say, hey, he trotted 57, he'll be all right.
It smells like alcohol in
That's here. My cast. So, but he's not, is he? He's a horse, one of two horses we paid into the Hambletonian. He's a horse that we had the highest of highest hopes for in Ohio this year, and he is really struggling. So I think I'm going to make a trip to Ohio this week. We're going to see if we can't get Oso Pine under control. We're going to draw his blood again, but I suspect it's not that bad. The horse I saw last night was not comfortable at the gate, was he? Rough coming out of the gate, got away at the back, struggled the whole way, really just was present and looked like the longest of long shots. Now he was in with aged horses, but he shouldn't have looked like that. So is this a case of a horse that just didn't come back good as a 3-year-old? It's possible. It happened with Springbridge Proud. For the most part, it happened with Maintenance Man. Did it happen with Oso Pine? I really, really hope not. So I'm going to go down this week, see if we can't get a finger on. Sometimes in these cases also, you're so used to the horse that you had, you don't pay attention to the horse you have. What I mean by that is, we're so struck on hanging up and looking at Oso Pine as an extrapolated form of his 2-year-old self, that we don't look at Oso Pine that is right in front of us. That horse did not look comfortable to me. We're going to strip everything down, take a look at Oso Pine as the horse he is right now, and see if we can't get him back on track. Is that a promise to you that we will? No. It's a hope. I hope we can get him back on track. But we'll see. We'll see. So I sent an email yesterday. Obviously, the way things look right now, we're looking at the bottom class at Northfield, which was pointed out to me by one of Oso Pine's owners, one of your partners. If you're watching this, Tim had made reference to the bottom class at Northfield. Went 58. Pretty sad, isn't it? But we got to go where we got to go to win races, and we got to get this colt back on track. So we're going to aim for that next Tuesday, unless he throws an absolutely shocking mile in, which I don't predict. Then he may have to go to the Buckeye for a start. Keep in mind, it's frustrating with the Ohio Sire Stakes program. I'm well aware what missing leg of the Ohio Sire Stakes means. I'm well aware, but at the same time, he has a lot of stakes at the end of the year also, and we need to do what's best for the colt to get him back on track right now. So I'm going to head down to Ohio. I'm going to try to head down maybe Wednesday. I got to be back Friday, Saturday. We get all the babies qualifying. We get a big week coming. Maybe I'll head down to Ohio and stay a couple of nights there and see if we can get this guy back on track and get him firing on all cylinders. That's also Pine. Aside from him, obviously, Sunshine Inn had a poor outing last night. Wasn't really her fault, and I'm not going to blame Jody, and I'm going to tell you why. Jody was trying to get the horse spotted so she could get a good trip and try and get some money. If he had blasted out of there, I think he does beat the 9, the 2, and the 3 down. Obviously, the 5 horse did. We would have been in the 2 hole. That's hindsight, isn't it? It's easy to say that. If he had a left and got parked, we would have been looking for we would have been assembling a lynch mob. So Jody was trying to get the horse the best trip he could. Ended up with a really bad trip. Now, I had also sent an email out saying we have 2 options. We have the Sharps Field in London, which is probably or in Clinton, which is a cheap bunch that goes for $5,000 on Sunday. No Lasix program in Clinton. Not really concerning at this point, but we do have a condition claimer, 15 claimer, non-winners of $15,000 written for Friday at Grand River. Might be a better fit for this girl. I'll sleep on that this weekend. Really, at this point, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. She's in the same boat as Buckingham for the most part. We want to get her moving and get some confidence in this filly. Not happy with what I've seen at all from Sunshine Inn, and we can make arguments for the start since she's been put on Lasix, but at the end of the day, we can't continue to make excuses. We need to stop shooting ourselves in the foot. Like I said 2 weeks ago, Buckingham come out swinging the other night and look great. She'll look good again on Tuesday, I'm sure of that. And Sunshine Inn right behind her. Need to put these horses in where they can win. And that is our job, and that's what we plan to do this week. So, what did we have? White Tiger kicked it off last weekend with a win. That was awesome. He's in to go tomorrow night at the Poconos. Picked to win in a $58,000 Sire Stakes event. Stonebridge Simba, I don't know what his odds are, but I'm sure he's going to be competitive in that Stallion series. Just take note of the thin line between good, okay, great, and really great as far as the stakes caliber goes. Yes, Stonebridge Simba was a long shot in the Sire Stakes. I haven't seen his odds, but I bet you he's not picked favorite in the Stallion series. You should think a horse that raced well in the Sire Stakes should be favored in the, and not that he raced great, he was 6th, but he did get jammed up with traffic. And what I'm getting at is there's not a huge difference between Stallion Series and Sire Stakes, and I think Stonebridge Simba will fit nicely on Sunday. I hope. Talked to John, who had spoke to Corey after the race, and said that he liked the colt. He was lugging in. John was going to try to make a few more changes, see if he can't get that guy straightened out, and then get him back on track also. It's not far off the beaten path, though. I mean, he trotted 57 or something in the mud. His last start in Philadelphia, I thought he raced well. So, that's White Tiger and Simba. They raced last weekend. And then we had, obviously, Lincoln James won again last night. Who's in tonight? Master Saber's in tonight. None of the Ontario stuff has started up big yet, except the injury to Houdini. But we do have, we had Yes and West 52nd on Wednesday. Now, I stopped in today. I was at the barn at 8:15. I watched all the babies go. Now, some of them trained on Friday. The track was raining a bit, a little wet. But Harry and Danny got all theirs trained on Friday that are qualifying next week. But I got a real good look at the Ontario breds today. Now, I'll be completely honest with you. I wanted a drone today. I was going to surprise you. This is a time of year, it's kind of tough for me, and it's really tough for you, and it's not fair for you that you haven't seen the Ontario breds since the open house, and I keep getting messages, how are they doing? I wanted to have the drone there today, but Curtis didn't. He got home from Sweden, end of the week. Then he was at London last night for the Camluck Classic. He said, Anthony, I'm exhausted. He said, it's supposed to pour rain on Saturday, which it was, and it didn't. He said, I don't think I can make it. So I'm going to try and have something for you this week. We're going to train. We're going to Mohawk again. Maybe I can ask Curtis to record our Ontario breds training at Mohawk on Thursday and ask him to come back and record Friday and Saturday's baby races. Mohawk might be recording them also. If they are, great. If they're not, maybe we can get Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and back Tuesday for the schoolers for the Ontario breds. First schoolers for the Ontario breds at Mohawk are Tuesday. You might be asking yourself, why are you going over Thursday? Monday, the track's closed at Mohawk. Tuesday, there's qualifiers. Wednesday, the track's closed at Mohawk. It can only be Thursday. So Thursday, 2-7, 2-6 with the Ontario breds. Come back and give them their first schoolers, 2-2, 2-1 on Tuesday. And then it'll be about 10 days before their June 22nd qualifying date. All the American breds that we qualified for the most part will be qualifying next Friday, Saturday. I'm thinking of a couple that aren't. Sebastian Ray is not leaving Canada, so he's going to be grouped with the Ontario breds for the June 22nd deadline. Ailsund was a week behind. She's going to miss a week. I think everybody else is going. I'm going to come back in a minute. I'm going to run through all the babies I saw today. Then we're going to run through all the babies in total, how they've had, what their week's been like, what kind of week they've had. I've just told you what their trajectory will look like, but I'll go on a case-by-case basis, every single horse, tell you what I want to see, what I think I can see, what we need to see in this week coming up, and then where they go. Big question everybody's asked me, are the horses going to race here once, or are they going right down to Pennsylvania? I would say if our very good Pennsylvania breds and New York breds look tremendous next week, we might send them right down. This will free up some space for our horses to race here in the overnights, or some of the horses we didn't send down yet. Give us time to work on some other ones. Really just free up some space. So you know who I'm talking about. Knockdown, Dragout, Johan, potentially Miss Mischief Maker just for me and you. I know I'm missing a bunch. The usual suspects, the best of the best, the ones that have been good for the past 2 months, 3 months. In past years, I thought that all the first New York stake races were at Buffalo. So I'm thinking we'll go race them in Buffalo. But they're not in Buffalo this year. They're spread out everywhere. They're the only one in Buffalo. Can you imagine? Really Blue Chip, our best trotting filly in New York. Her first stake race is in Buffalo. She'll be ready, but I think we'll go and race her in Buffalo and then pass the torch over to Scott DiDomenico at Buffalo. After Buffalo, he can take her down to New Jersey with him. The reason for this is New Jersey's 8 hours away. Buffalo's an hour and a half to ship. 7.5, 7 to New York, New Jersey, whatever, to ship the horses there, then come all the way back for Buffalo. Doesn't make much sense. So we'll race Really Blue Chip, but we will send Arctic Force, Brush Cut, Bottle of Red, Classic Con. Those horses will likely be heading down to Scott and Andrew. Scott will get Bottle of Red. He will also get Brush Cut, Arctic Force, and Really Blue Chip, who he owns a piece of. The New Jersey horse, I would say for sure, Spirit of Dio might even be ready to go after a qualifier down in New Jersey with Andrew. I'm going to send her to Andrew, I believe. And Rooney Blue Chip, we'll see how he looks. Still, he seems a little babyish, a little flabby. He doesn't seem dialed in and wired and ready to go. He might not be ready to go. And as I said to one of our clients the other day about Rooney Blue Chip, he's not leaving here until he is ready to go. And if that means he's not ready for June 26th in New Jersey, then so be it. We're not sending him down there to get devoured. They need to be ready to rock if they're going to be down in New Jersey on the 26th. And assuming they are and hoping they are, doesn't get it done. Now does it? Not sending Rooney Blue Chip down to get his head bashed in. And that makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. So, Rooney Blue Chip is probably going to wait, but Spirit of Dio will be heading down right away. So if we send Spirit of Dio down, does it make sense to maybe send Knockdown, Dragout, and Johan down, assuming they qualify good, and some of the other horses? Maybe. I would say that frees up us, gives us a little more time to work with Sebastian Yu, who's also ready to go. He'd fit great in the maiden at Mohawk right away. Path of Totality, trained great today. She's teetering on, is she really good, or is she just going to make breaks? She trained awesome today, so we're going to have a real good look at her. I don't want to miss anybody. You know who I'm talking about. So we're looking to move our pieces around the chessboard best we can. I got an update from Mark Treffy that the PA breds at the Meadowlands were just kind of so-so. The New York Pacers were really good. I think we're going to have some contenders right out of the gate. I hope anyway. That's my plan. Quayfly. that's my plan. So, qualify next Friday and Saturday. What are you hemming and hawing about? Who's your favorite horse left now, Abe? What? Who's your favorite horse?
White Tiger.
White Tiger. Yeah, he's in he's racing tomorrow in a stake race in the Poconos. You were at the Poconos. That's the racetrack with the good steakhouse and the casino in it.
In the big hotel.
Yes, the big hotel's in there. That's right. You're right. So, he's racing tomorrow. What about Miss Mischief Maker? Do you like her?
She's second.
She's second. Trained her today. I didn't train her, obviously. I almost trained her.
I told
Amy would have killed me.
At school about Miss Mischief Maker, and she was like, "I'm a Mischief Maker."
Oh, I know. You are too. You guys got a lot in common. So, just wait one sec. So, we got Miss Mischief Maker, who Danny trained today. I'll tell you about her in a minute. How good she was. Don't do that, honey. I bought some back on track things. One for my elbow, my wrist, and then when I get this off, that one too. Do you want to help me do the list? You want to try and read these names to me?
Yeah.
I'll be back in a minute, and Ava and I are going to do the list of babies. Now, these are the ones that I saw trained. No point in me telling you, oh, this one trained good or that one if I didn't see it. These are the ones I watched with my own eyes today. And then also, when I give you the complete rundown, I'll tell you about the ones that trained yesterday. Now, I didn't see any of the ones trained yesterday, but I made sure I grilled Danny, Mario, and the guys on the other side of the barn about the other ones, how they trained. I'll update you on that also. But these I saw with my own eyes. Be back in a second with the babies that I saw trained. Then we're going to run through the whole list, run through the whole barns. My God, it's what week? What's the date today? It's almost June.
It's almost June 1st.
Yeah, so it is June. So we're 25 weeks in. This is the best week we've ever had this year in 20.
Daddy's excited to get his cast off.
I am. I'm excited. I told the people there. I called the physiotherapy place and I said, June 13th, my cast comes off. What's your first opening? She goes, you probably want to give it a couple of days. Let's say, I said no. I said, what's your first opening? She said, June 13th at 3 o'clock. I said, I'll take it. She said, sir, you said you're taking wires out. It's going to be a little sore and it's going to bleed. I said, yeah. It can't possibly hurt as much as when I hit the track. So let's start June 13th. I made a promise to our clients that I'm going to be ready to go July 3rd. And if by any chance I can push that deadline along and help
July 3rd,
out.
Today's
June 1st. No, 4 weeks. 4 weeks and 2 days we go to Ohio. You and Mummy are going to the cottage.
Yeah.
So Ollie and I are going to be
Then we're
loose.
taking a very expensive airplane ride.
No, you're not. Ollie and I are going to be loose in Ohio, Pennsylvania. Ava, don't, honey, don't.
I know this is the click button.
Hey, down. Ollie and I are gonna go to Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Indiana. We are gonna be loose in
Found it.
loose in the United States of America on June the 3rd. So Ollie and I looked. It'll be June 1st. I haven't even looked. I might go down to New Jersey.
1st.
Shh, honey, stop. I might go down to New Jersey. I might go to New York. I might go to Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana. I might make a whirlwind tour. We'll see how the wrist feels. So that's everything that took place this week. Just a really great week. Obviously, honey, don't be silly. A little bit of a downer with Oso Pine. I'm going to work my hardest to get him back on track. And not to say that Jason and the vets weren't doing a great job down there. Fresh set of eyes never hurts. Need to step back, take all the gear off the horse, reassemble it as is, and see what we got. So that's what my plan is for this week. Maybe Tuesday I'll take off for a couple of days to Ohio. I'll be back for Friday, Saturday here in Ontario. We'll make some very big decisions after the qualifiers on Friday, and then start our summer. So that's it. That's the opening. I'll be back in a minute. We're going to talk about the babies. We're going to talk about the ones I saw. You're going to read them. The ones that I saw, all the babies, and then all the racehorses. Be back in just a minute.
Beep.